Good morning. Hope you guys are good. I'm sure that I don't know if it's morning or afternoon
We don't know what time it is.
or what time it is whenever you're watching this, but it's morning for us.
Right.
So I'm sure you guys remember who we are, Keisha and Nick. We hate that we can't be like in the classroom with you and in person with you and giving you candy and playing games and all the things that we usually do. But we still have some conversation that we're going to kind of have with you, kind of one-sided, but we're still going to have conversation.
Definitely one-sided. We're going to do all the talking, okay?
But just also wanted to say, like, we're here for you. You know, you have ways to be able to connect with us. We've got our Facebook page. We've also got our Instagram.
Slide in our DMs.
Yeah, so we're here for you. If you need to talk or have questions or whatever, we're here for you. So you're not alone. We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
So today, for just a few minutes, we're going to try to keep it short and sweet because that's how I like things, short and sweet.
There you go.
We're going to talk about some relationship red flags and how to deal with breakups. I feel like right now during COVID and quarantine and all the things that's happening, there's a lot of relationships that are really being tested, that are really either growing or ending.
Right.
Because it's really easy for us to connect when we're able to, be within 6 feet and, and hug each other and hold hands and be able to share space together, and that's just not happening a lot these days. But it's really the time apart and the separation apart that we really realize, am I just crushing real hard on this person? Am I just, or is this really something more, or really something serious?
Yeah.
And so I think, a lot of relationships may be coming to an end or they're getting stronger. It really just depends on.
And there could be some blossoming. This could be some relationships you never thought of before. You're thinking, man, this person's really been there for me, and I never even noticed them before.
Yeah.
Because if anything else, COVID's kind of stripped away a lot of the physical parts of the relationship. We can't hug. We're not supposed to hug. You can't really, meet up, hold somebody's hand. You can't do any of those things because you got to social distance, everything else. And you can't even see people smile. So maybe, you're having an emotional connection more. It might surprise you. Like me and this person, I didn't think they were physically attractive, but their emotional attractiveness is through the roof with me. And so probably a lot of things going on and that are good and bad. We're going to kind of talk through some of those. We are going to start off with red flags. So these are things that are not good, okay? Yeah. So you think a red flag, this is like, whoa, hashtag get out of there, right? These are not good signs. And of course the big one is any relationship that forces you to isolate. Now, I'm not talking about isolation for, social distancing. I'm talking about isolation from people emotionally. So if any relationship's like, hey, I don't want you to be friends with those people. I don't want you to talk to them. I want you all to myself. I don't want you to talk to anybody else. That's not healthy, and that's not a relationship. That's called ownership. And remember, nobody owns you. Nobody owns me. We're all our own unique people. And so somebody doesn't own you. They don't have the right to tell you, you cannot talk to that person. You cannot be friends with them because you're dating me. Like, that's wrong, and that's not right. That's a huge red flag. Those isolations and that ownership mentality, those are things you're like, that's not good. That's not healthy.
Yeah, another one is any kind of verbal abuse, any kind of physical abuse, any kind of sexual abuse. So anytime someone is, yelling at you, name calling you, intimidating you, making you feel judged or stupid with their words, calling you names, even if they say they're just joking, like if that is a regular habit and you don't feel great about that, that's not a good thing. Anytime, of course, any physical, shoving, pushing, slapping.
Even a squeezing of the leg. Mild things you might think are like, you might think, well, that's not that big a deal. Or like holding your wrist and saying you're not going to do this. Small things can turn into big things. So be watchful of that.
Yeah, be watchful. Anything like that. And then, of course, anytime anyone is... not respecting any of your sexual boundaries, making you feel pressured to do things you're not ready to do or you don't want to do, even if you've already done them. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, at any point, your body is your property. Exactly. And so people need to always ask permission and make sure that you that you're both on the same page with what's going on with that. So that's another red flag. If the relationship is all physical, if it's all about just how you feel touching each other and kissing and making out, even if sex is involved or not involved, if it's all physical and nothing else, if you don't know that person beyond like what their body looks like or how their body feels, that's another red flag.
And because usually, guys, when you're introducing these physical things into a relationship, when your relationship's not truly mature enough to handle them, it dominates. I mean, it becomes like, he or she, in these scenario, they might be like, let's just do some stuff. Let's just do stuff. And remember, physical connection is extremely easy. You can physically connect with anybody. You pair up. Literally, you pair up. It's easy to connect with anybody physically. What's difficult is doing the hard work of relationship and connecting emotionally. It's connecting intellectually. It's connecting, socially with people. Those are the things that are not easy, but they're worth their weight in gold, right? So they're going to be the foundation of what's really going to get you through the hard times. Because listen, at the end of the day, you hear us say this all the time in the classroom, if sex solved problems, then people would never break up. They'd be like, oh, just have sex.
There'd be no divorces.
Yeah, just have sex. You'll be fine. When that's not what relationships are based on. It's a bonus of a relationship, but it's not the main thing of the relationship. Yeah. And the big thing is, we want you to talk about and think through, like, hey, if everybody in my family doesn't like them, my family's just crazy. My friends are just crazy. They're just cuckoo. They're just jealous. That's a red flag. When everybody on your side of the relationship, like mom and dad, brother and sister, your best friend, when everybody's like, they're not good for you, take that to the bank. They're not good for you because they can see what you can't see, because sometimes you're in that puppy dog phase, like, I just love him, so much, and he never pays for anything, and he never opens the door, he treats me like crap, but I love him. I mean, you know what I mean? That's extremely red flags there because people can usually see what you can't see. Yeah. And you don't want to see it.
Yeah, and those are the people that are going to be with you forever. Like, your mom and dad's not going anywhere. Your siblings, your best friend generally is not going anywhere. Like, they've got your back, And so if everyone in your circle is saying, like, I don't know about that, like, tune into that. That is a responsible, mature thing to do. It's wise. Right. It's wise to do that, and not just go off how you're feeling. Because our feelings can trick us. Our feelings can get us into trouble. So pay attention to how your family and friends feel about that person that you're dating.
I always say the phrase, bad friends stab you in the back. Of course, we've all been there. But good friends, they stab you in the front. Yeah. Good friends, they stab you in the front like, I love you enough to tell you the truth. To tell you the truth. I love you. And that's a unique part of the relationship, because that means they really do love you. If they're going to tell you the truth and everybody's telling you lies, that's some real deep compassion and love. All right, Ski, so let's say we have some people dating, and the red flags are throwing like crazy. It's bad up in there, and they need to do the dreaded breakup. Oh man, about to break some hearts, shatter some hopes and dreams. What's some things they need to think through? What's some processes?
Well, thinking through, the reasons why you feel like you need to break up, and that's something that you're just gonna have to figure out. You're gonna have to make a decision and be assertive with that decision for yourself. So if you have some of these red flags, and there's, a ton more, but tune into the people that love you. Right. If you're not sure about the relationship, or you have yourself some red flags, talk to someone you trust and what do you think about this or this, and really evaluate that. So if you feel like you need to break up, it's hard and it's awkward, and especially if you're a person like me that doesn't like conflict. I'm a peacemaker. I want everybody to get along, and so conflict can be really hard. But keep in mind, what your goal is. Okay, what your goal is, and stick to the facts of the relationship. Don't get mixed up in a bunch of feelings, but stick to the facts of what's true and what's not true, and what you want for yourself. And I know right now it may be hard to do this in person, but you really need to do it face to face, whether that's FaceTime or in a public place. If you don't feel safe doing it because you're afraid of how they're going to respond, do it in a public place. if you can, or FaceTime. Whatever you do, don't end a relationship over a text message.
Yeah, that is I know it's real popular. Now you're like, bye, and you delete them, block them off all social media, and there's no real closure there. Even for you you're the one breaking up, there's really not a healthy amount of closure there.
Yeah.
And so the big thing is, try to have that face-to-face conversation, because that's going to grow you emotionally, and it's going to grow them emotionally. And don't use the classic phrase, it's not you, it's me. It's me. I've got something. And that might be true, but if it is true, I dare say 90% of the time people overuse it.
Yeah.
And they use it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And for, there's some rules and some boundaries. Don't break up with them. Date their best friend. That's not good. It's not healthy. And the big thing is we want you to be emotionally healthy for the next relationship.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to, in one relationship and be like, I'm a nun. I'm not going to be the cat lady.
Yeah.
There's not any of that. You're going to get in a new relationship. So we want you to take the time. The phrase, I'm trying to think, there's a rule of thumb I've always heard, like how much time should be between breakups. And it's different for every person. But the reality is, take some time to heal. Take some time to heal emotionally. And that starts with just having healthy habits. Once again, when you have any type of emotional, turmoil, it's exhausting. Like when you fight with somebody, it's exhausting. You're just tired. And so if you are experiencing, rocky relationship in those days, or if you're experiencing a breakup, we encourage you to get some good sleep. But don't sleep all day. Don't let that take over your lifestyle. But exercise, eat some good meals, spend time with friends, spend time with family, keep your mind busy. Mm-hmm. And if you do feel overwhelmed, reach out to somebody. Say, hey, I just went through a breakup, really need you right now. Just try to keep yourself busy in a healthy mindset, right? And then the other thing, have some closure. And everybody, when it comes to a breakup, needs to have a true break, right? A break up.
Yeah.
And so what I mean by that, there needs to be a break in communication.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be a break in contact. There needs to be a break on social media. And so there needs to be a time where there is a clean break, where there's no communication, there's no talking, there's no anything else. Why? Because as long as you continue to talk, those old feelings are going to come back, and it's going to throw your emotions in play, and you're going to think, do I like him? Do I not like him? Sometimes I feel this way, sometimes I feel that way. Oftentimes, our heart can overpower our brain, and that can be bad sometimes.
Yeah. And that's a healthy separation. Like, give yourself that time to heal and to be able to move forward, because you don't want to stay stuck. You don't want to feel trapped or stuck to something that may not be good for you, even if it's a good civil clean break, and you're still civil with each other, and you don't hate each other, and even if you think you can still be friends beyond the breakup, you still need that initial time of separation without being just involved with that person, right. And if you can be friends beyond it, that's great. But
it's rare. It's very rare.
But you've got to give yourself that time to mature and to move forward.
Because usually in that kind of situation, one person just wants to be friends, and the other one has that agenda in the back of their head. I'll just be friends a little while, but eventually I'm going to press the agenda. And so, it's complicated, guys. Dating's not easy. A part of me wishes, sometimes I can go back and do the dating scene again, because it was fun. There's some fun in it. But there's also, it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. It's exhausting. There's a lot of putting yourself out there, and you don't know if they're going to like you. You don't know if they're going to reject you. You don't know. Yeah. And so just hang in. Yeah, just hang in there, and you'll get through it. And it's just part of high school. It's a part of high school. It's part of life.
And sometimes when there's been dating relationships where sex has been involved, the breakup is even more intense and even more hard. Yeah. Because I don't know if you guys remember oxytocin. But there's a chemical in our brain that's released when we connect with someone sexually. Our bodies, exchange a memory of each other. And so because of oxytocin, you have a forever bond with that person. So even after you break up, even after, say, 3 months of no contact and you've been doing it right, as far as being disconnected from that person, you'll always be connected to that person because of oxytocin, because of that sexual encounter. So that can make it really hard. But all the same things apply. Like reach out to people that you trust and let them know what's going on with you. It's normal to feel that connection, but that doesn't have to keep you in a relationship that's not good for you. Just know that that's normal, but you don't have to be trapped in that.
Yeah. And so guys, we're all about you being healthy and making good choices, and about you staying safe. not only from COVID, but also the emotional toils of life, as well as the sexual consequences that are out there, both positive and negative. We want you to remember that and be healthy. And we love you guys. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Hopefully we'll be back in a classroom near you very, very soon. And yeah, that's all we got for you today. Red flags and dating. And you'll be hearing from us again very, very shortly. So peace out, Girl Scouts. A-Town down. See you.